All right, welcome everybody. I'm Stuart, and this is the Group Sales Power Hour. I'm grateful that you're here, and I hope that everybody tuned in right now live with me on this April 14th is well, in good health. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, I also hope that you are well as we watch this. That's the most important thing that we need right now, is our good health, our well-being, physically and mentally. Everyone is coping with this in different ways, and I hope that you, as I'm talking to you, have found your center in the midst of chaos and uncertainty. You found your core center, so that hopefully, rather than being on the side of constant anxiety and panic, you can somehow find yourself on the side of hope and strength and courage, so that you can be a beacon, a light, a positive influence for others. And as we get in today's session, I'm certainly going to start off with slides and officially welcome you here. But at the end of the day, friends, I think it's going to be hard for us as business people to convince our business followers, our clients, unclients, prospects, and shoppers that we're cool, you can trust us, we're confident, we know what we're talking about, come to us for wisdom and advice and truth. If professionally, if we're not feeling that internally, right? If it's not authentic. So right in this moment, if you're feeling that anxiety, and I know you all are, I am too. If you're feeling unsettled, do what you can, whether it's meditation, walks, whatever you need, music, to find your center, because not only will others feel that stressful energy personally, but they'll feel it professionally too. So I wish you the very best as we muscle through this. And today we were going to have the role playing. That was my goal. And I know, Karen, you're my biggest advocate of doing that. And I decided, man, I need to share this information with you that I'm about to, because to me, these are leadership moments for me and for you. Leadership moments for people who you follow and respect. And leadership moments for you and your followers, the people who look to you for positive influence, for guidance, for steadfast leadership. So, quick welcome here. First in was Karen G is in the house. Everyone's confirming they can see and hear me. That's super cool, thankfully. I don't know if anybody here attended that massive town hall I had. It went almost 3 hours. We had what do we have? 1,000 people tuned in, and it was early in the days of the shelter in place. Everybody was on the internet. Everybody was on GoToWebinar, GoToMeeting, and especially GoToMeeting, and their servers were overwhelmed. So we had some crazy technical challenges, but we muscled through. And right now, I think we are coming through A-OK. Linda's in the house. Welcome, Linda and Leslie. Good morning, Dawn. I always like to say hello to you. If you take a moment to say hello to me, I'm going to say hello to you. I'm so glad you're giving me your time, and I make sure I'm going to make this hour worthwhile, that you have no regrets being here. And the concept of today's training is regret, so I'll be right with you. And I do have a great question sent in from an old friend, Travel Genie Ken, and I'm grateful that he sent it in. We're going to talk about on today's show. We'll kick it off with that question after the slides. Kim's in the house. Good morning, Kim. Glad you're here. Lena's here. Hello, Lena from Travel Agent Hacks in the house. Grateful to have you. Deborah's here. Deborah in Kentucky. Welcome. Christy's here. Glad to be here live as well. Usually watch the replays on YouTube. And you're here today live, Christy, which means we can talk. We can actually talk. That's super cool. Let's see. Role play. Let me see here. Oh, Karen said here, ask a favor. You know, when I ask you to do some role play, I'd love you to do ASAP, only because a professional speaker I want to do a group with, this would be perfect time to reach out and have a conversation with him. So I need your expertise on the questions to ask him. I'd like to play his role. Okay, we're going to do it. I'm going to touch base with you one-on-one, Karen, and we'll play, because I want to get that done so you can experience that. You know, role playing is great, friends. If you've never done it before, do it. Do it with a friend. Do it with a colleague. Do it with a spouse. That's because you get a chance to practice. It's really great. I love doing it. Kyle's in the house. Kyle, thank you for sending me your message about the new group launch sequence. So my boot campers, you know, my boot campers, I have group launch sequence, which is, I think, a revolutionary way to launch a group to big success, right? To have to sell up, sell out, sell more. And I re-recorded it for you. I didn't put it in boot camp yet, but I gave you the link. It's in our private Facebook group. And Kyle watched it and said, yes, it's better. It makes more sense. And that's because having taught it for so many years now, I'm learning more and more about perfecting it. And a lot of the questions, I anticipated the questions that were coming up whenever I would deliver it live. So thank you, Kyle, for that vote of confidence. Nancy, on the other side of Tennessee, I'm in Memphis. She's out on the east side of Tennessee, is in the house. Welcome, Nancy. And Nadij, am I pronouncing it right? Nadij, tell me, because I am the world's worst pronouncer of names. You have to tell me and keep me honest. In any case, I want to officially welcome you here. We're going to get right into the slides. Then we're going to get into your agenda. That's one of the key purposes of the Group Sales Power Hour, is that I am your coach. This is, aside from paying me specifically to do one-on-one coaching, private coaching, I do it so that I can be scalable, because there's only one of me. And if I can do it in a group environment, it's very efficient for me. And I hope you enjoy this too, because you have permission to ask very specific questions about your business, like Travel Genie Ken had sent in. And so I want to be here for you. And Nadine says, close it up. Well, we need to talk on the folks. I need to hear you say it. Once you say it just one time, I'll know it. And I'm sorry. Please accept my apologies if I am mispronouncing it even slightly. Brittany's in the house. Brittany from Wisconsin. Brittany, you're new in boot camp, right? You're with MAST, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Welcome, because you're part of MAST Expeditions. Glad you're here. All right. Now, I'm going to light up the slides right now so you can see the slides. There you go. You should be able to see that slide. Do you see the slide? Just somebody, one person say, I see the slides, but everybody's going to say, I see the slides. I know what's going to happen, and that's okay. Deborah said she could see it. Sharon said, hey, Sharon. Jennifer's in the house. Welcome, Jennifer. Great, Brittany. I'm so glad you're here. And everyone, Joe's saying they can see the slides. Super, super cool. Ray is here and sees the slides. Crystal, beautiful. Now, if you're here as a guest, if you're here as a boot camp alumnus, if you're here from my Group Sales Success Summit Facebook group, welcome. Every once in a while, as you know, I open it up to the whole community. And this is one of those sessions that's open to you. Please feel free to let your fingers do the typing and talking. If you have a question or want to make a comment, I'll try my best to get to all of them. And if you are brave enough, courageous enough to have your mic turned on, let me know. Can't guarantee it, but I'll try, because there's nothing greater than hearing your voice. I'd love to see your beautiful faces. I can put your webcam on too. We just had our mastermind meeting on Friday, and we used Zoom, and everyone's camera was on. That was awesome. But I'll settle for a microphone if you want. But I want to make this highly interactive and engaging. Okay. So Sharon said we can invite guests to this one, but if if you want to attend another, or if you're in boot camp and you want to invite a guest to come to a future power hour, absolutely. 100,000%. That's good. Joe's here, and thanks for making it open during these times. You bet, Joe. That's what I think we all need to be doing again during these leadership moments. So let me start off with these slides. You can see this slide right now, and let me kick off with the program. The next power hour is Tuesday the 28th, and that's at noon Eastern, same time as this one. And I've got a guest expert. She's a very, very dear friend of mine. I know Chris going back a long time. We used to do road shows together, and she worked for Celebrity for years. I worked for Celebrity for 2 years. She worked for many, many, many years. She's an executive. She's brilliant, and she has incredible knowledge of groups and selling relationally. She's brilliant. She's going to be on the show as my guest expert on the 28th. And I'll tell you what, since we have so many guests on today, if you want to be invited as to be my guest, even if you're not in boot camp, would you send me an instant message or an email, and I'll give you the link to be there. Because right now I want to share as much. I want to give back as much to you, the community who has given so much to me. I haven't set the meeting dates. I promise you I will. I totally forgot. Sorry, but I promise you will. And I just want to let you know, because so many of you have saw me launch my own group. You saw me launch my own mastermind group, and I'm doing this with the wit and wisdom of Mike Marshev. We're doing this mastermind together, and it was supposed to have taken place in March at Moon Palace, Jamaica. Well, guess what happened to that? Didn't happen. So we are rescheduled for August, and we are taking a wait list. Right now, it looks like everyone who was supposed to have gone on the 2 March dates is going in the August dates, but we are still taking a wait list because we, in case somebody can't go, has to cancel, whatever. I just want to tell everybody the good news, and Karen, certainly you know about that, and we're very, very, very excited because we want to be among the first to get back on the airplanes. We want to be among the first to get back to the resorts, and we want to demonstrate to the public and to all of you that we got to get tourism back in business. Can I get an amen? We got to get tourism back in business. I know I'm getting a lot of amen. I can say that, I live in Memphis now. You can never say that. When I lived on Long Island, I could never say, can I get an amen? I could, but here I get the amens. I love talking to audiences here in Memphis. It's awesome. So dear friends, if you were here 2 weeks ago, if you saw the YouTube replay, my foundation of all my preaching, my teaching, my mentoring, my coaching is that this is a leadership moment. Right now is a leadership moment. And this is one of my favorite movies, of course, Willy Wonka. And he said there's so much time and so little to do. And of course, I don't believe that's the case at all. I don't know about you, friends, but I couldn't be any busier than I am now in my projects. And the bottom line comes down to there is so much to be done. And your customers, we're getting business now, let's talk professionally. They're wondering, are you more interested in me or my money? So right now, we can really set the stage for the tomorrow of our business. The tomorrow of our business. Will it be a success or will it be a failure? I'm being honest with you. Because no matter how awesome you were in the past, you will be judged by what you're doing right now in the present. And that your worth or value will be greatly appreciated or depreciated when this crisis is over. And friends, understand that I share this wisdom, I hope, with you because I'm practicing what I'm preaching. I'm doing the same things now. So everything that we talked about 2 weeks ago, I'm doing everything that I'm talking about right now in these slides coming up, I'm doing right now. I'm going crazy reinventing myself. When's the last time you've done that? And it doesn't mean going into a different business or completely changing your business model. It's, well, let's get to it now. You'll see what I'm talking about when I mean reinventing myself and stuff that you can do too. So I'm about to submit my next article to TRO, which is under my motivationally speaking column. If you're not reading my columns in TRO, please do. I think they're pretty good. And the column I just finished writing this morning, which we'll publish tomorrow, is about regrets, right? And that whole concept is when sales tank and it's not your fault, and how we can make this into our leadership moment. So the question I have for you is, what are you kicking yourself for not doing then that would have been highly valuable to have today? Now, it would be cool if we were sitting in a conference room right now and we go around the room, almost like in a mastermind, and tell us, share, be authentic, be bold, be raw, be honest. What are you kicking yourself for not doing then that would have been highly valuable today? Now, if there is something that pops into your mind, the first thing that pops in your mind, go ahead and type it in. Type it in as I go through these slides. I'm going to see if I guessed. I'm going to see if I guessed maybe one of the things, two of the things you wish you had done then that would have been helpful to you now. So one of the, and these are not necessarily in a particular order, but not having a remarkably good website. Friends, man, I love you, and I'm not looking at anyone in particular, but are you really, really, truly proud of your website? Is it showcasing you, or is it still showcasing suppliers and deals and stuff that's irrelevant right now? We want it to be showcasing you. As Guy Kawasaki says in his book, Who Am I Marketing? Are you really proud of the website? Now is the best time to tweak it, fix it, update it, and make it sing for you. So the questions I have for you, can you be found? Is the URL difficult? Is it just hard to find your website? Are you promoting it adequately if you're proud of it? Because if you're not proud of it, you may not want to be putting that URL out there. But can you be found? And when I get there, am I happy to be there? Am I invited? Is it a good site? You know, as a consumer, what's a good site and a not so good site? Is it functional? When's the last time you clicked all the links to see what's broken, to see what's working? How many dead links do you have right now? I've said this before to you, friends. I'd say if you, I'll go to any one of your websites right now, and I hope I'm wrong. And I'll click, and you may not be happy with the page of items. I'm going to say, hey, this isn't working. This doesn't make sense. That's old. Well, this picture's missing, or did you know that this, whatever. I hope I'm wrong, but what if I'm right? So is it functional? Is it compelling? Is it interesting? Is it worthy of being bookmarked so I come back again? Is it worthy of me copying the URL and sending it to my family or friends who need somebody to trust during these times of crisis? Or is it, this is old, this is scary, this is just not worthy of a trusted travel advisor? And of course, is it current? Are you saying anything on your website about today's situation? Look, you go to websites today, just of course the airline sites, but any site today, and almost everyone I've gone to has a little blurb about here's our COVID-19 update, and they tell you how it might be impacting their sales or their deliveries, their shipping, right? Are you doing that? And even if you don't put specific information, just say, if you need accurate, up to the minute information about travel, call me now. Who's doing that? Who's got that singular sentence that could be so incredibly compelling and positional? Positional meaning, wow, I can call you and ask anything. I'm impressed. You are an expert. You are confident. I can trust you because you're saying, call me. So is one of your regrets not having a remarkably good website? You could change that. I'm changing mine. I don't think my site is remarkably good anymore, StuartLocohen.com. Wait till you see what I'm cooking up. I'm so excited. Next, not having a warm email list of followers. You're a leader. That's why people are on your email list. But what I mean by warm is, when's the last time you used the email list? Are they used to receiving it? Are they accustomed to seeing an email pop in the box, whether it's from a newsletter or just general correspondence? Warm meaning, do you use it because your followers have always expected to hear from you? If you got something relevant and engaging and informational and educational and opportunistic to say. Because if they're used to getting emails from you, it will be warmly welcomed. Oh, that's my agent. She just sent me a note, an update. I'm not selling anything now. Remember what we said 2 weeks ago. The only thing you're selling is your good name. Your good name. Because servicing is the new selling. Say it with me. Serving is the new selling. You could be providing topical information. Said this a couple of weeks ago. Enter the conversation in my mind. Don't change the subject. Don't ignore what's going on outside there. We got to be talking about it and be their professional touchstone. That's your mission now. In these emails, sell nothing but your good name and position yourself as a good touchstone. And if you don't have a warm email list, that might be tough to get it going, but I hope you do. I hope you have, because it's never too late. But think of all the businesses right now that we may not know are open because we're not getting out in cars and going to the normal stores. And this is the Crosstown Concourse. It's here in Memphis. And friends, if you ever come to Memphis, I want you to go there because it's the old Sears building. It's 1.2 million square feet of empty space that they made into an absolute amazing facility where there's residents, there's restaurants, there's shows, there's bars. It's truly stunning. If I wasn't a follower, if I wasn't on their email list and regularly getting information, first of all, they wouldn't have had my email to begin with. But every week I get to see what's open, what food I can order out, because I want to support local restaurants that are dying right now. I hope you do too. But look at the power of that email list. How many restaurants right now are regretting not having an email list? A lot. Next regret, not having a segmented list of followers. Segmented. It's one thing that you have a list, but is it segmented? And you've heard me say this before. I segment people into 4 different categories. Clients being those people who currently are paid in full, and they're paid in full, and their trip is coming up. Now, I know you may not have many of them right now. I get it, because their trips may not be coming up. If they're not canceled, they still may be coming up. Some of you may still have, and I hope you do, some active booking. Those are clients, the people who have already come back from their trips just because they've booked with you in the past and they have nothing booked with you in the future. Those are unclients, because as soon as they come back from their trip, you're fired, right? You've heard me say that before. Just like me as a professional speaker, I get off the stage, I get paid, I'm fired until I'm rehired. Then you have your prospects, people who you've been talking to about groups, about any kind of bookings. They haven't booked yet, but you're in the process. And then you have shoppers. Oh man, did you read my article that I wrote in the last TRO about shoppers? Okay, Wouldn't you love to have a few good tire kickers now? Wouldn't you love to have somebody say, oh, we're just looking? Well, as much as we desperately want that now, those tire kickers now, make sure we value them that much more when this chaos is over. So have you segmented your list? You can still do that today. Do you not have cell phone numbers of your peeps? Do you? Do you have cell phone numbers? Some of you maybe are reticent to offer it out, thinking you're going to get bombarded. I don't think you will. I don't. I give out my cell phone number all the time. And I say, hey, I'm in your pocket. I'm on standby. You got an issue, got a question, text me. Almost nobody does. But the fact that you give it out shows that you're ready for it. You're a leader. And I want to show you two texts that I got from two local businesses that are happy. They have no regrets because they're happy they got my email address a long time ago. A jewelry store where I've made some purchases. They do all my repairs. And it was it's beautifully written. Good afternoon. This is Michael. Michael, he's the owner. I hope you and your family are doing well. Beautiful. We are using this downtime in our business to update our client profiles. But can you do that? It's one thing to do it in an email, but a text is so darn personal. Not personal, really, but still, it's coming in on your phone versus email. I think it's nice. My hardware store is open. I didn't know they were open. They told me they are. So, having a cell phone can bring you new opportunities because if you've already used their cell number before, if they've texted you and you've texted them with updates and information, then it's an approved way of communicating to receive and send messages. So this could be a regret that you may have some cell phones, you never used them before and you're afraid to now, but if that was an established form, an approved form of communication, you could be leveraging that today. Not having special occasion lists. Do you? Do you have a list, all your clients, unclients, maybe even prospects, maybe even shoppers, I don't know. Do you have a list of special occasions? Whether or not they've traveled on those occasions doesn't necessarily matter, because wouldn't it be wonderful to recognize a birthday and anniversary or any kind of annual celebration that you may not have before? Now's the time. Now's the time. These days, I only get birthday cards from mom and my bank. And at least my mom's is handwritten and signed and thanks. My bank, it's a good gesture, but it comes out of a computer. I appreciate it. It's nice, but you know what I mean. I'm lucky if I get a birthday card for my kids these days because it's just so easy to do something online, or, they used to make me cards, and that's okay. At the end of the day, they remember my birthday. Are you remembering theirs? Do you have a list? Now's the time. Go put it together. Get it done. No regrets. How about this one? Not having virtual meeting solution. I use anything for virtual meetings, like, of course, is it Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, GoToMeeting, free conference call, whatever it is. Or you're trying to figure out how to use this stuff. Now's the time. No regrets. Get it done now. Figure it out, because I know you've been invited to a billion, right? A billion, that's a lot. A million, a zillion, whatever, a quadrillion online meetings these days. And I didn't know it till recently that Zoom, actually, you can use Zoom free for up to 40 minutes, right? Oh my goodness! How come have you not jumped on that bandwagon yet? Do it and practice. I just talked to one of my buddies who lives in New Jersey. He's not in the travel business, and he can't make sales calls, right? He does solar panels. I mean, he has incredible knowledge of the benefits of it, and he could tell you if it's right for you or not. Blah blah blah. At the end of the day, he can't go into people's homes right now. He's doing his meetings virtually, and I love him, but my best friend, he's never used this stuff before. So I said, hey, man, if you need help, we'll do some practice. So if you've never done the Zoom thing before, the Skype thing before, call a friend, practice with your kid, with your parent, whatever. Make sure you're comfortable doing it and using it. Even if it's not a video thing, maybe you're just using freeconferencecall.com, whatever it is, have no regrets, get it done now. What about essential office supplies? Are there specific things you wish you had? And of course, you could buy them now, but do you have the darn webcam? Because if you've got a desktop computer, you may not have a webcam or a microphone. Get it. Get it now. How about good lighting? It's just get a lamp in your house. You don't have to buy a fancy light. You know, I have a desk light here that LEDs, and of course, I have a professional light, professional mic, but it's not expensive stuff, friends. I mean, the camera I have cost me 50, 60 bucks on Amazon, and it sold out. But I'm happy to share with you the brand. It's a Logitech HD, if I can read it. I can't. And I have a microphone, a condenser microphone, inexpensive too, but it delivers great sound quality. Do you not have the right equipment? Now's the time. It's not a big investment, friends. Do you have postcards, letterhead cards? I talk ad nauseum about this. If you're not letter writing, hand letter writing, and that's one of my favorite things to do, start doing it now. And if you don't have the money to go spend on custom letterhead or custom cards, that's okay. Use blanks. Use blanks. I buy this recycled paper, and I can run it through my printer, or I just hand write it. And I have stamps. I put funny stamps on it that I got from Hobby Lobby. You have regrets about not having these supplies? Get them now. Next up, not having authentic relationships. Now, this is big. This is cerebral. This is cerebral. When I say not having authentic relationships, it comes down to transactional versus relational. Because, friends, if your whole business has been built on transactional versus relational communications, you may be in trouble. People don't know you, they don't love you, let alone like you. You're just, you know, they put the money in a machine, and you're an agent. You're an agent. You're more of an order taker. I love you. I'm not looking at you if that's you. But I want to get a hear from you. I want to get a yes, Stuart. I'm relational, not transactional. I get to know my people. They get to know me, and they can say, yeah, that I'm their trusted advisor. Yeah, they can say that we have a relate. They know me. They can call me. We can talk. We talk beyond just business. Not having trusted advisors. Do you have coaches or a coach? Do you have mentors or a mentor? Do you have a teacher or teachers? Wherever you go for this stuff, whoever it is, whatever organization, whether it's the Travel Institute or your host agency or your franchise group, or if you're a member of boot camp or might want to come into boot camp, I'm feeling a little, it's difficult for me right now to do big boot camp promotions because it's $800. You may need that $800 right now to put food on the table, the electric on, and the water flowing out of the faucet. I get it. So I'm not doing any promotions right now. I'm doing free stuff like this for you. But get into those groups, whether it's travel agent hacks, but find a specific coach or a small group, like a mastermind group, to help you through this, to generate ideas altogether. And that's it, friends. That's my slideshow on regrets. And I really tried to pick what I thought would be perhaps maybe the biggest regrets. Maybe I got them right. Maybe I got them wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to now read some of the questions and comments before I get into your agenda. And I'm going to kick off with Ken's question. And I got a lot of amens. A lot of amens. Chalva Jeannie, Ken, well, I sure hope, Ken, that the audio is fixed now. That was 15 minutes ago. I hope so. Sharon said she's setting up her automation now. Jalal's in the house. Hello, Jalal from Canada. Glad you're here. Start building a good Pied Piper. Yeah, a good Pied Piper list of Pied Pipers. Yeah, potential group leaders. Absolutely. Great time for researching. What a great time for researching. Michael said not planning far enough out, as in planning or getting the ground ready for groups in 2021. So Michael's saying it could be anything, Michael. You know, whatever your regret is, now's the time to do it. And if you didn't start working on groups of 2021, now might be a good time. But you got to be super sensitive, friends. Some people may want to talk about 2021. Some people may not. And as I said to all of you 2 weeks ago on the Power Hour, a great innocent but high mileage question is, hey, what can I keep an eye on for you? What can I watch for you? I think that's innocent, and that's offering help. Karen said, not spending time developing the groups that she wants to do. I do stuff sporadically, but nothing consistent. What a great time to get a new whiteboard, to clean it off, and to refocus, reinvent yourself, rebuild. Start your niche. Karen again said, I have a great resource if someone needs help with a website. Call me. So if anybody needs website help, go ahead and type it in, and I can connect you guys after. Because websites these days don't have to be a black hole at all. And I have somebody too who I just adore. And the pricing is well worth it, because I know just enough to do stuff myself, but then I break it and she fixes it. But she's creating a beautiful new site for me. Jennifer in the house, boot camper. The email I sent yesterday was my first in 18 months. So Jennifer sent me a personal email, sent it to me with just beautiful text about that she's it was just very kind. It had very beautiful, illuminating, uplifting words of friendship and gratitude. And I just loved receiving it. And I said, the email I sent you yesterday, Stuart, was my first in 18 months. I had a 49.7% open rate and got over 30 personal responses. That's beautiful. It's having that warm email list, and now it's been 18 months, Jennifer, but keep it warm. Keep sending beautiful messages of hope and offer yourself up as their trusted person, their trusted professional. I'm glad you shared that. It's very impressive. Almost 50% open rate. And you got 30 replies too. Very cool. Nancy said, what do you say in an email or newsletter to my list that doesn't sound like every other one that I'm receiving these days? I don't know. What do you say? I think you make it personal. You say, hey, I'm Nancy, and I'm in the same boat as you, and I'm on standby now to answer any questions you have about the current travel advisories and travel situations. I have firsthand knowledge of what's going on, and I'm working the phones to keep you up to speed abreast so you get the facts. Let me be your truth detector. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Wouldn't it be wonderful if they call and ask you those questions? But at the very least, you're putting yourself out there. You're putting yourself in opportunity's way to get them to engage. They may not want to engage you to buy something, but they're going to engage you to get your expertise. Sharon said, what if your clients are saying they are tired of hearing about COVID-19? That's fine. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be, but at least if it's on your website saying, if you would like to, if you have any questions about COVID-19 and how it's affecting current travel, call me. That's it. That's it. So my point is, Sharon, and I appreciate what you're saying, is I'm not suggesting that you start sending email blasts about COVID-19 updates. Not at all. Not at all. Everyone else is doing that, the proper resources. You're not the expert in COVID-19. I'm not sending messages out there. I'm sending messages about COVID-19 related information, right? I started off with these slides. If we didn't have this, imagine that. We didn't have coronavirus right now, I wouldn't be sharing these slides. Well, maybe I would, because we always have business regrets now, don't we? But my teaching now is more about the relevance. So as long, Sharon, as it's relevant, because again, if you're just straight out sell, I got an email this morning from some place in Mexico. Book now for agents. Book now, $2.99, best rate ever. No, but didn't give any dates. Nothing. I said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're hawking your products right now with low price points? No, you can't give it away right now, right? So make sure that you stay valid, enter the conversation in my head as it relates to travel and hospitality. That's all. You don't even have to mention the words COVID-19 in your email or text or website. You don't. if you'd like to know the current situation, call me. I'll let you know what's happening. She said, great. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Sharon. Thank you. Deborah Gregory said, cruise lines provide a lot of free postcards. There you go. Use what you got to use. Use what you got to use. If you don't want to pay for it, if you can personalize it, that's the most important thing, that it's got your handwriting. And if you got a little stamp, miss you, thinking of you, be well, do that too. Kim said, show us your stamps. I have over a dozen stamps. I should stamp them all and post it in Facebook so you can see all. I will do that, Kim. I'm going to do it. I got some funny stamps. I will. Deborah said, I give clients a thank you package with a cruise line postcard for them to send home from a port. I love it. So you give them postcards that they can mail back. And I know like Almer Waterways, who here has cruised on Alma, you can send any postcards you want. They'll stamp it, mail it from anywhere, which is really cool. So I'm glad that you do that, because you want to encourage them while they're traveling to send it back. Gia said, my clients become my friends and family. I want to read that again, everybody. This is a mindset. This goes to being relational versus transactional. Gia, thank you for sharing this. And that's, my clients become my friends/family. I think it's beautiful. I really love that. I gotta let that sit out there for a second. Let me keep going. Very, very active group today. Thank you. I'm so grateful, because I love doing this, friends. I would do this every day if I could. It just keeps me in the game, because I'm not on stage right now. I should be. I miss it. So you're giving me my opportunity to practice my craft. And if I can help elevate and give you an idea, inspire you to take action, then that makes me happy. It makes my day. Deborah said, thanks so much for doing this. You are very welcome. Travel Genie said, oh, okay, Ken, that it's working now. Good. Trinita said, love the tip so far. There's Trinita, boot camper and mastermind member. So glad you're here, Trinita. Joe said, anyone have a site they want to share? I'm just making a site myself. Good learning tool to see what works. All right, so I'm going to put this out there, and I'll with whoever gives me the URL, that means you're giving me permission to share it with Joe and anybody else who wants to see it, really. Because should I post it in Group Sales Success Summit, Facebook? I don't know. It depends. I could share it just in boot camp or on public and group sales. Look, here's the bottom line, friends. If you love your website, if you're proud of it, and it may not be perfect, because there's no such thing as a perfect site, because there's always something, oh man, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's always a WIP, isn't it? Work in progress. Let me hear you say work in progress. All websites are a work in progress, but at least keyword in progress. If you want to inspire Joe and the rest of us so we can see your site, just go ahead and type your email address and your URL in here. And everyone can't see it, I get that, but I'll certainly be happy to share it. Let's see. And Joe, you want to connect with Karen? Okay. Karen said, what was her opening line of the email that she was sending for the first time in 18 months? Hey, Jennifer, what was the opening line? What was subject? What was your subject line or the opening line in that? Would you mind sharing that? It's in my email, but I don't want to disrupt what I've got going here. Let's see. Linda said, my last newsletter and blog post, I did virtual tours. Terrific, Linda. That's great. And by the way, I don't know if you follow me on my personal Facebook page, but I'm reposting some videos. I did a professional video shoot for Palace Resort. So they filmed me. They had a professional camera crew filming me at Moon Palace, Cancun. Then at Moon Palace, Jamaica, with my son, Zachary. So he's in some shots. And while I haven't reposted yet, I will soon repost when Kimberly and I went to La Blanc, Los Cabos, my favorite resort in the world. I'm melting right now. Look at me. Look at me. I'm daydreaming. Yeah, video crew there. And I'm going to repost that. So if you have pictures of videos or tours or whatever, now's the time. And don't sell. Share. Say, boy, I wish I was here right now. How about you? Where do you wish you were? Some of you guys are doing some great posts on social media. I love it. My husband says I'm too friendly with my clients. That's from Sharon. I don't think that's possible. Unless they're coming over and knocking on your door, hey, coming over for dinner and breakfast and lunches, and maybe that's a little too much, but I don't think it's possible to be too friendly with your clients. That's relational versus transactional. Sharon said they call me to pray and tell me about their problems. There you go. Boy, you are trusted, huh? You're a beacon. That's a humbling position to be in, Sharon, that people come to you. Travel Genie Ken, I promise, I still have it here. Hold on, everybody. I just want to get through these great. I only have just a few left. Deborah said, I send out messages from my local chamber of commerce I belong to, so I can let clients know local virus news since they get national news on TV. So when they come to my Facebook page, I have other things like travel on my Facebook page and website. Okay, so Deborah sends out messages from her local chamber of commerce that she belongs to, so she can let clients know about the local information. And if you are fulfilling a need, serving a purpose, it's welcome. It's great. Fulfill a need, fulfill a purpose. And as much as you can keep it travel related, that would be great, because that's your expertise. You're not an infectious disease specialist, not a physician. We need to stay in our lane, but the lane also needs to be reflective of what's happening in the world around us. Nancy, okay, I'll go back. Nancy wants that website person too, Karen. Jennifer, so Jennifer, I think it was Sharon, you asked this question, or Karen, what was your opening line in the email? And Jennifer's subject line was, I'm thinking of you during this COVID-19 season. I'm thinking of you during this COVID-19 season. And that got 50%, a 50% open rate, which is extremely high. Nancy said, okay, so Nancy offered her website address, which I will post. I appreciate that. Thank you. Only one person offered up the URL. Interesting. And the cover of her email said, I'm so very grateful for you, friend. That was sort of the overall theme, the cover theme. Okay, now keep typing, stick with me. We've got 13 minutes left, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, because I received this from Travel Genie Ken. And here's the question. I'm doing a series of birthday trips starting in September 2020 and running each and every month. So, series of birthday trips starting in September 2020, which will be running every month. He's got a Facebook page, event page, and I checked it out. I looked at your Facebook page. It's Birthdays or Us Travel. So it's facebook.com/birthdays or us travel. And it's RU. So it's not ARE, Birthdays or Us Travel. Almost like Toys R Us, right? Where I advertise and let people born in that month know about the trips I have planned for them. I already boosted each trip, but I want to know, number one, how can I get more people to choose going instead of interested? And number two, what is the best way to get the word out about these trips? So this is a great question, and it's important. I want to take a step back for you, Ken, and everybody. First of all, conceptually, that you are focusing on listen, everybody, when it's somebody's birthday, it is a special occasion, and sometimes it's a milestone birthday, and there are a lot of people who will choose to travel on their birthday, right? Everybody can agree. Shake your hand. Yes. Shake your hand. Shake your head. There's a lot of people who choose to travel around their birthday. And oftentimes it could be a group, a small group or a large group, especially if it's a milestone birthday. So conceptually, I love this. Now, one of the things that I didn't see, and maybe I didn't dig deep enough on the Facebook page, Ken, was that group focused versus just, hey, this is our featured trip. This is one of our featured trips for this month. So if your birthday is January of 2021, here's our featured trip. Okay, I didn't see any emphasis on compelling people to think groups. What friends or family would it be fun for you to celebrate your birthday with in Mexico? Right? Suggesting that. Now, the other thing I need to mention to you, Ken, and everybody, as great as this concept is, this is speculative group sales. It's not affinity. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But Ken, you've been in boot camp, you know, and forgive me because listen, everybody, I got an email from Travel Genie Ken, and it was in the moment, and he just asked these questions, and I wrote back without thinking that I know Ken. I wrote back saying, "Hey, these are great questions. Are you interested in setting up one-on-one coaching time, which is fee-based, or do you want to come join on one of my group sales power hours?" And he responded back saying, "That's why I'm sending you these questions. I didn't know." But how many times do you get cold emails like that? Listen, asking you for advice, professional advice. You're like, wait a minute, I'm not a library. I'm not free. You want this stuff? Let's get on the phone. Let's have a consultation. Pay for my services. And honestly, Ken, that's what went through my mind. And I realized, whoa, after I sent it, wow, because Ken, I hope you accept my apology. I can't tell you how many emails I get a day. People asking specific questions. I'm like, hang on a second. I want to help you. I do all kinds of free stuff, but I don't have time. I'm not scalable. I got to keep the roof over my head, the lights on, and the water running. So you want to coach, to be coached? Here's how much I am an hour. And I just jumped at it, and I didn't realize I know you. So I hope you understand that, but let it be a lesson learned, friends, that my reply back was okay. It was okay, even though I made a mistake and I knew Ken. Okay, it's an okay to say that you're not free. What's inside here isn't always free. You're an expert. You're a professional. You get paid for your expertise. So be confident in sending a message like that back. If you feel that this is just sort of a cold email out of the blue, you're like, whoa, let's get on the phone and engage. And that's what I should have done. I just said, hey, let's talk about this. In any case, get back on subject. So speculative group friends is when it's product driven, right, Ken? You're blocking group space, or featuring a product once a month. You're calling it the birthday celebration, which is awesome. But what you're doing is you're starting with the product and selling the people in. So assuming it's successful, Ken, you may get a couple here, you may get 4 people here, you may get 6 from here or not, because the danger is that couple or those 4 people may not want to know they're part of another group because they don't know those people. There's no affinity. So what is the magnet? What's drawing them to it? Well, it's the deal, the opportunity. You've blocked space. I would imagine you have an attractive rate, an attractive package. So that's the allure. It's a speculative group, a promotional group. An affinity group is when you start with the people, with the concept, but you have a list of people in mind. So let's say you have a family. Starting with a family, they want to celebrate a 50th birthday celebration and make it a big blowout bash. So you're starting with the people, and then you pick the time they're going to travel, the product you're going to travel, the price point, right? So it's where you start. You either start with the product and market, find the people for it, or you start with the people and find the product for it. Big difference. So question 1, how do I get more people to choose going instead of interested? Well, the challenge here is that this it's like this running an ad in a back in the day in a newspaper saying once a month we've got these trips going, come join us. And I love your theme, I love it, but it's still promotional and speculative. So they're looking for what's the opportunity? Why should I go here? The opportunity. And perhaps you need to back into it the other way. Go to specific organizations and associations can you partner with? Can you collaborate with? Can you have joint ventures with organizations, associations that have a big population of people? And obviously they're going to have birthdays throughout the year, and say that you have a Birthdays Are Us club or a group, and you want to make it easy for them to celebrate their birthdays around the world. You make it easy for people to celebrate, to have big birthday celebrations. So you've done advanced legwork in helping. And the best way to get the word out about these trips, I don't have an answer for you. I'm stumped because who are you going after? You're going after the entire planet of every human being on Earth, because we've all got birthdays. You see what I'm saying? So paying for a boost post is one thing, but I believe when it comes to affinity group advertising, and listen, friends, tell me what you think of what I'm saying. I'm going to read your comments in a second, especially you, Ken. I want to hear from you. Is that the concept is great? It's definitely more speculative, and I think it can be leveraged to get affinity group business, because you can use this concept as a hook to show that, wow, you've got once a month, you've got a special birthday vacation going. And if you, this is you talking to potential customers, to shoppers, if you have a yearning to celebrate your big occasion someplace special, call me. We are happy to put together custom celebration trips. In your case, stick to your niche, custom birthday trips. You hear what I'm saying? I see more of an opportunity, Ken, for you to promote the daylights out of this Birthdays Are Us travel concept. Showcase some product and say, if you're yearning, if you have a desire, if you dream of celebrating your big birthday milestone with friends and family, call us for a free consultation. And the consultation, you're just asking questions, right? To see how we can craft the perfect birthday vacation for you and your friends and family. That's the opportunity I see, because you can spend $1 million in boost post, but you're going to the masses. So the other way to do it then, Ken, is if you want to focus on people age 50 to 60, or if you want to focus on 60 or 21-year-old birthday parties, or 75th year birthday parties, a specific age category. We need to get more specific so we know where to advertise. Again, I was starting to say this before and I didn't finish this thought. I believe when it comes to affinity group business, you may not have to spend any money. Why? Because there's an existing list, just like you have your own lists. You have your own existing lists, your own database of people in that association, organization, whatever that group is, right? Like for instance, if you're going to do a coffee roasting trip, it just came up because I've got my cup of coffee here, which is ice cold now. But if you wouldn't advertise that to public, that would be crazy. You would go after the people who are part of coffee clubs, coffee groups, or coffee roasters, So we need to get a more defined prospect list before you start doing sort of generic boost posts. But that's the opportunity I see. And one more thing, Ken, I went to your Facebook page, okay? And then I clicked to your website. And I love you, but as your coach, you asked me a question, you've given me permission to give you information I think you need to hear, but may not want to hear. But when I went to your website, it didn't say anything. I didn't see the same Birthdays Are Us travel information. You were highlighting weddings and so forth, which is great. Led off with a video, terrific. But how about me seeing a picture of you, your beautiful face, at a destination? I want to see more pictures, and you need to tie the two together. For friends, your website needs to tie together to your social marketing. Because when I click over to check you out, because I don't know who you are, I have no idea who you are as just customer who stumbles upon you, who clicked on your boost post. And if your website isn't telling the same story as your social media, I'm confused. I got to go someplace else. I hope that helped. I hope it helped a little bit. We are at time. I'm going to run through these questions real quick. Oh my goodness, we got some wonderful stuff here. Jennifer says, I paid for Squarespace class 6 months ago. I'm redoing my website myself now. It will go live next Monday. Jennifer, good for you. This technology, Squarespace, whatever, you could do it yourself. And I know sometimes it makes more sense to pay other people. I don't mow my grass because it's more cost effective for me to pay someone to do it because I can do more effective stuff here, but more power to you. Good luck. Jennifer said, my website is hosted through my host agency, but here it is. Okay, there it is. So I'm going to post these two. We got two URLs. Hers is cruisesinc.com/lwhite, LWHIT, but I don't want you to get confused. Nancy is working on a newsletter that turns clients into travel ambassadors, asking them to send in a photo and share a short story about it. She borrowed this from another tour operator. Is that okay? Sure. She's working on a newsletter that turns clients into travel ambassadors, asking them to send in a photo and share a story. I love it. Sharon also shared her URL. I will share that out there. Kyle said, put a reason why they should take a birthday trip with others. Figure out why they would want to and would be their main pain points, why they could not put it together on their own. I love it. That's good advice for Ken. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. You got to give the features and benefits, not just the features, but the benefits of doing a group chat. I know we're a minute over. I never go over. Karen said, challenge for the birthday concept. I may love the idea and my birthday's in March, but I may not like where you have chosen to go that month. That's exactly why I said, hey, friends, if you're here and you got a group, you want to go on vacation to celebrate, call us and we'll put together a custom trip for you. I think it's a great link. All right, we got more coming in here. I'll respond to you either one-on-one or respond to you in the Facebook groups because we are out of time. And I want to respect and worship your time. Friends, professionals, guests, members of boot camp alumni, I'm so glad you're here. I hope you found this productive, fruitful, and inspiring. Remember, this is a leadership moment. Do you have any regrets of stuff you wish you had done then that would be helpful now? Well, do it now. Get it done now. No more regrets. No more procrastination.